Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day or evening. Wherever you are in today's story, Oi found out his wife cheated on him with a guy. His mother-in-law introduced her to, then she got pregnant. Months later, karma happened and now Opie is on top. Let's get into the story. My cheating ex called me 2.5 years later. My 31 male ex-girlfriend, 29 female, found me and wanted to hang out, but I just ignored her after she broke my heart. Backstory: in 2015, I met this woman at college. Let's call her Casey. We had so many things in common and we instantly got close. She asked me out and it was a wonderful relationship, or so I thought. We had dreams together, sent X-rated pics. Once in a while. We do a lot of stuff together, not sex yet. In 2019 Christmas time, I was going to propose to her after I give her parents and siblings gifts. I even gave her mom, who hates me, a gift. Casey works at the hospital, so she'll get out of work later, or so I thought. At 5 p.m. she didn't come home to her parents' place, but I came and decided to give everyone gifts. When I give her younger sister, 20 female, let's call her Sherry, a laptop. She cries and hugs me because she always wanted one for school. Casey's father, a new barbecue grill. Moments later, Sherry told me I couldn't contain it anymore and cried harder. I asked, "What's the matter?" She immediately grabbed me to her room and her father came along as well. Sherry kept saying, "I'm so sorry." Many times I was confused on why. She then showed me a pregnancy test and told me that it belongs to Casey. I completely lost it and wanted to know why. And how long was the affair? Sherry informed me that the affair happened in the beginning of 2019 while I was working a lot at my factory job. She goes to see him. Makes matters worse is that Casey's mom was the one who showed the affair partner to Casey. Apparently in the month of November, Casey found out she's pregnant and she begged Sherry not to tell anyone after Sherry found the test. When she told me everything, my world came crashing down and I decided to leave. But before I left, I thanked Sherry and her father. Let's call him Max. Max apologized and said that if I leave, he would completely understand. We shook hands. And I said, "Thank you." I just looked at Casey's mom and then I left my ex's house, just drove away and didn't look back. Max and Sherry got furious with Casey's mom. Let's call her Jane. Around 7 p.m. Christmas time. I informed my family on what happened and they all comfort me. 11 p.m. my phone began blowing up with phone calls and text messages of my ex saying she can explain. I didn't answer back. I changed my number, deleted my social media and changed my email as much as I want closure. I didn't want to see her face. Fast forward to mid of 2020. One of my friends informed me that the affair partner who got Casey pregnant ran away after he found out he's the father, karma, and they're looking for him. I simply said, "Who cares?" Fast forward to the last month. I see a number I've never seen before. I answered and it was my ex. My ex begged me to talk to her and possibly give her a chance at my favorite restaurant. I responded, "Why should I after you did what you did?" She rambled on and I just ignored her because I don't want to go through the same pain that she had put me through. Casey began gaslighting me and her friends, and her mom called me a coward for not seeing her again. I told Jane, "You have the audacity to say that after what you've done." She rambled on. I just hung up and blocked Jane and my ex's number. I informed her friends what happened and they left me alone. Wow. What a crazy story. I'm happy for you, Op, that you immediately blocked your ex and moved on with your life. Even crazier that the mother was the one who introduced the affair partner. You know what they say? Like mother, like daughter. Right. Let's now get into the update story. That details how Opie saw his ex again months later and she was a complete wreck. Update. My ex found me. She's a wreck. I got closure, but I feel it wasn't worth it. It's been nearly 3 months since I posted my story and apparently she found me of all days, Mother's Day, which was last week, Sunday. My mom wanted to go to Red Lobster since she loved seafood. One of my sisters, really half-sister, but she's my sister, came along as well. Let's call her Raven. We were about to leave all of a sudden. I ran into my ex's sister, Sherry, and the Wicked Witch of the West, Jane, and Red Lobster. Sherry was in total shock in seeing me, and I was hoping Casey isn't there with her, and thankfully she wasn't. Jane looked at me with disgust and Raven in disbelief. Jane was in total shock at seeing Raven for some reason. Not sure why. Wait until later, I was about to explode until the moment I looked at my mom and Raven, because they both wanted to pound Jane into the ground for what she did to me. So I had to calm both of them down. Sherry then begged me to talk to her after a heated argument involving my mom and Jane and my sister, Raven. Then suggested that if I want to talk to Sherry, both of you talk alone, we won't be involved and not the snake bitch. Jane. We talked for a bit and asked me, how have I been, and says, how she misses me and wished that I didn't leave. She told me that my ex was miserable when I left, and I responded that it's not my problem. I then asked, how was school treating you? Sherry cried and said that Casey broke the laptop. I gave her for Christmas a week after I left, and it ghosted her. I asked before I go, why does your mom hate me? I'm curious. Sherry then said it's because she saw you with another woman and that it was the same woman that they both saw just now. Little did Jane know it was my sister. I told Sherry that Casey's actions are wasted. The warranty is still available until November 2022. Sherry literally danced for joy and said she'll immediately get the laptop after dinner. We said goodbye. We hugged and left. The next day, I waited at Brandmar. Work was slow. I've seen Sherry, and to my surprise, Max came along. No lie. I had a smile on my face. We talked. Max loved the grill I gave and he still apologized, but I told him there's nothing you can do after the laptop was resolved, and chat for nearly an hour. They insisted on talking for a while. Not sure why I told them it was good seeing them. But Max insisted on taking me to a restaurant I've never been to, and he paid for everything as a thank you for giving Sherry another laptop, a better one. She responded, I'm sorry about this. I hope you forgive me. Please don't be upset. Lo and behold, my ex came and she looked in worse shape than I imagined. She looked worse than a surgery gone wrong. She tried to hug me. I just stick my hand out and asked, what the hell do you want? Casey apologized and begged me to take her back, saying it was a mistake. Blah, blah, cheater's excuse. I responded, you cheated on me for nearly a year when I worked my ass off for us, and this is how you repay me. She realized that mistake and says that it was Jane's fault, and I said you went along with it. You could have said I'm not happy with you anymore, but you didn't. It's not my problem anymore. I moved on and you did too for nearly a year. And the fact you gaslight me, try to put the baby on me when we never had sex. What the hell? And now the affair partner left you and he's on child support. Casey told me that her son now is 1 year old and needs a father. I told her good luck with that. But she asked, why am I being so mean? I said, you're the reason for this. I wanted kids. I nearly got a house for us, family stuff, and you threw all that away. Casey said that I threw it away because she told me, Jane saw me with another woman and she described what she looked like. I laughed and called Sherry to let her know who she'd seen. Cher explained everything to my ex. Casey was crying really hard and that she realized all this time I was faithful and she wished she'd never listened to Jane and says, I hate her for this. Casey begged for another chance, saying we will fix everything and will do anything just to take me back. I simply just told Casey, Max and Sherry, I wish you all the best, and walked out. I told my family why I was out a bit long and they immediately were proud of me for not taking her back. My dad laughed and said, Jane wanted you gone, son, and found a reason. A stupid one at that. You'll do better on the next woman. So yeah, thank you guys for everything. I didn't think I would run into her again even though I got closure. It wasn't worth it to see the two women who broke me. Now, let's take a look into what the comments had to say after that crazy update. CCM starts us off. She thought you were cheating. So instead of talking to you, she cheats for a year. She's lying. She was at least thinking of cheating before then and used it to justify her actions. Few Ringling said, well, she sure is gonna hate Jane the mom for a long time for manipulating her to cheat and depriving her of the love of her life. Now she's a miserable single mom whose baby daddy, a fair partner, wants nothing to do with her and her kid. Honestly, I think Max, her father, should get a divorce, because if Jane is that devious, then who knows what else she's doing behind his back. After reading this story and the update posted, this honestly couldn't have gone any better for you. You were given the closure you needed, as well as thankfully not being tied to your girlfriend in any way, such as having any kids or financial ties to her. Continue to move on with your life and stay away from that disaster of a family. Use this experience as a learning lesson when it comes to choosing your next partner. Best of luck to you. Thanks for taking the time to listen to today's story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as comment on what your thoughts are about today's story. I hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening.